We are still waiting to see if more guests arrive, so just give us a couple more minutes and grab some food, anyone who's here, and make sure you sign in. DeAndre counts too.
You calling?
Hmm?
Were you calling?
Oh, no, I said you count too.
Oh, okay.
DeAndre, next to the Salvation Army. Let's go.
We're going to start, yeah. So once we start talking, they'll be able to see it. So, just depends on how they use.
All right, hopefully we're live. And everybody there can hear and see me well. My name is Mike Creation. I'm the Lived Experience Advisory Committee co-chair and asked to help out with this meeting tonight with the COC Board of Chairs and designated that'll be me in terms of helping new members and old members get reacquainted with what we're supposed to be doing and what we are doing and continue to do, which is making sure we gather as a community and with partners, systems, resources, anything available for helping individuals and families to prevent, divert, and end homelessness in Pinellas County. The vision, of course, ultimately is to make homelessness rare, brief, and one-time occurrence. And my background was, it wasn't a one-time occurrence, but they were fairly brief, and the resources that I did get in touch with have helped me, and I've not been not homeless for the last 5 years. Partially thanks to recommendations from people at Safe Harbor, for example, in my case. So we're going to get to know each other in this meeting, particularly of those who are attending virtually. You're here in spirit, and we ask you to remember that it's an all-together thing. Committee isn't something that just says, do this, do that. It says, we all need to do this, we all need to do that in order to help people who are homeless. And I feel my contribution helping the CSC realize people with lived experience have needs different from those who are on the committee who may be focused on fundraising and the big picture. Sometimes you got to realize it's the people who are affected who need their voices raised, and I appreciate the opportunity to be on the board of directors and the EC to help raise those issues for people who have had lived experience, so that we could fulfill the mission that it's brief and short and just one-time occurrence. Now, with that out of the way, our next point on the agenda would be having a presentation from our host here. And that would be Mr. Andre, yeah, from the Salvation Army.
Speak. Just speak. Can I have this one, guys? Someone approaches you, sit down. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
For those who know who I am and those who do not, I am DeAndre McKay. I am the program director here at Salvation Army. I oversee social services, our one-stop, and ultimately and overall, we are a food and emergency services program. What I'll do first is I'll go over our one-stop, it's the closest area to us, and I'll let you know what services we have available. First and foremost, mailing addresses. So for any individual, housed or unhoused, we offer 6 months to 1 year, the opportunity to receive mail here. Next in line, we have our telephone usage. So we do have telephone and computer usage policies. However, we're open to anyone coming in to use telephones and computers, and ultimately, the goal with creating this program was to ensure not only for our residents, but anyone who comes through those doors have access to improving their lifestyle in any way, not just looking for income, also housing opportunities or even job and career opportunities. So a lot of job searches, housing searches. Also in the one stop, Monday through Thursday, we have our resume building team who help out with everything to get you set basically on your path to increasing whatever situation you're in. That team also helps with our SNAP and food benefit assistance. So they come in, you have questions about, hey, I need help getting re-enrolled, or how do I get enrolled? This is the place to come to. And on Fridays, we have our Simply Healthcare representative here to offer any form of medical needs. Not so much on the blue card side, but pretty much anything you need as far as medical assistance. So we're going to dive a little into what we're doing here at Social Services currently. Community feedings. So housed, unhoused, it doesn't matter your situation. We offer community feedings, which is right around the block from where we currently are. And anytime between 12 and 12:30, you can have access to a hot meal. Typically 6 to 7 days a week, we're offering hot meals. And like I said, have our doors open to an average of 1 to 300 individuals. So it doesn't matter, looking for a hot meal, this is the place to come. Mondays, from 2 to 4 p.m., we offer our shower ministries, which we are partnered with another ministry to offer shower services. And what that looks like, and that's actually very nearby to us, is individuals come in, hey, I'm in need of a shower. How can you help us? We have showers right outside of where we're located. And we are offering change of clothes, towels, washcloths, and toiletries as individuals need showers. On average, we see about 40 people needing showers. Clothing vouchers. We do offer clothing vouchers, not just for residents staying here, also community and also any other organization that says, hey, I have individuals, they stay here, they don't stay here, could you assist us with getting the clothing vouchers? We do. Our clothing vouchers are typically around, for an individual, $50, and these vouchers are used at our Salvation Army stores. Water bill assistance. So we have 4 slots. What I mean by 4 slots is monthly we help 4 individuals with their water payments. So social services is pretty busy, and especially around this time of the year. So 4 individuals are getting assistance with their water bill assistance. And on average, 20 to 25 individuals or families are getting help with their utility assistance. So we work with Duke Energy. Duke Energy allows us to pay $250 per individual or family. And normally we pay up to 20 to 25 payments per month. I want to go back just a little bit to lunch, because not only do we have community lunch, our services also extend out to 3 meals a day for our residents that stay here. Food pantry. We do have a food pantry. Our food pantry services are from Monday through Friday, typically 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And our qualifications are basically, if you have an address, we need ID, some form of a lease or a bill, and we're able to help individuals receive food pantry assistance. One of the things that just recently happened and is currently going on, we started in September, late September actually, our Angel Tree. And that is a big program for us around this time. Our registration just ended October 3rd. And what happened is 300.
I just
You're fine.
Okay. So we were able to assist 300 individuals. If you're not familiar with Angel Tree, we pretty much set up these ornaments, and you're able to grab a child or family's name and purchase gifts. And I will gladly say it wasn't even a week before all of them were chosen, and 300 less fortunate individuals and families will be receiving gifts. I actually saw gifts coming in for those individuals. So great success, and that is one of those things that are happening now. Just so you know, not just because we're in the chapel, we do offer spiritual enrichment, not just for individuals that stay here, also for anyone who could come in at any given time. Our chapel is actually, our chaplain, he's actually here now. He normally uses this for Bible study classes. They do prayer walks pretty often, where they just go outside to individuals that we may not have a bed available, but we do provide whatever we can to help them, and also the hope of that one day we will be able to have a bed available. I want to tell you guys a little bit of what our beds look like here. At any given time, we can have between 108 and 115 individuals staying here, and that is not counting 6 families. So we have 6 family dormitories in the back. Those house up to, I want to say, about 40 individuals, max 5-6 beds per room. And currently we're about 80% at capacity. Hoping, especially with this time of the year, to be at 100%. we got some great news recently because a lot of our services would not happen without the help of AARP. We do have a lot of volunteers that train with us. That looks like we now have 7 that have transitioned to full-time or part-time employees. So it is on-the-job training that turns into the potential opportunities to be part-time or full-time. We currently have 10 that are now in training with us, and in the past 6 months, we've hired 7. So that program works well. Those individuals help us pretty much with any and everything that we need. And last but not least, we're very grateful. With the help of not just everyone in this room, but everyone online, we continue to grow. And I say that in the sense of, I've been a part and had the opportunities to be a part of these meetings and these trainings and meet great people. And I am so grateful also because there is the opportunity to not only speak on what we do, but how we could be better and how we can help impact the community in a way that we continue to change individuals' lives. And I don't think we're able to do it if no one understands what we do and what our cause is. So of course we are faith-based, and a lot of times we, as bad as we want to instill, that into individuals, we do understand that that can't be mandated. So we do our best just to understand, well, hey, this is where we come from. And ultimately we want individuals and families to just have some form of belief or some hope that things will be better, and we don't have to be comfortable in things that, people tell us that we have to be, comfortable with. So I really appreciate the opportunity, not just to speak, but to have just numerous opportunities to meet with individuals, learn about what they do, and be able to share what we're doing here day to day. So I thank you all, and I don't think I'd be where I am if I didn't have everyone supporting me. So I love to give back and support everyone as well.
But did you mention Cold Night Shelter?
No, I will mention Cold Night Shelter. So Cold Night Shelter is activated. We only have mats to cover, I want to say 22 individuals. So we are working to get back up to 35 individuals. But not only is it just an amazing program, there's a lot of partners that help make that work, and we really appreciate HLA, PSTA, and everyone that's involved. And as activation dates come about, we're all for it. Any way we can help, we're here.
Yeah, we really appreciate you activating early. We had an early season this year, so thank you.
No, anytime.
Any other questions? Are there any questions online?
Not at this moment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, DeAndre.
No, thank you all so much.
And I also, I'm gonna add, we all appreciate DeAndre and Salvation Army hosting us tonight here, providing extra food, in fact, more like a dinner. And so that was very much appreciated. We appreciate that. Thank you. So now we're going to move along. It's a membership meeting, a general membership meeting, but it's one where the general membership does a vote. And we don't have quorum tonight. That has typically been the case. And then when that does happen, and when Michael comes up in a little bit to make a motion or ask for motions from the floor, then what we do is we send up the final recommendation. So we will still do a vote, but it will not be a final vote. The recommendation is then sent on to the board of directors, and then they will take the recommendation and accept, or they'll make the final determination.
I
Okay.
have a quick question for DeAndre. Sure. It's from Arrow here, saying, how do people get into the shelter through Salvation Army? What is the referral process for access to these things?
So no referral process. We ask that any individual seeking emergency shelter show up at our 310 address any day, Monday through Friday. I would prefer individuals show up between 8:45 a.m. and 9:15 a.m. It's a first come, first served basis, no referrals.
And that was for individuals?
Yes.
Are there any medical beds?
Those are all referral process. We
Okay.
have 4 contracts currently, and all of those referrals come directly from those providers.
Good. And families go through the family flow
Correct.
system. That's a coordinated entry.
Absolutely.
Pinellas is different in that manner because of the shortage of family shelter. Yeah. Any other questions?
What days did you say to show up? You said between 8:15 and what time?
9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. Thank you.
And the medical beds, they come from a contracted facility?
Correct, such as daycare and behavioral health, all of our beds are already contracted for. We receive referrals and we screen through that process.
Thank you.
What if they're
You.
unable to make it between the 8:15 and 9:15? If we get a call from someone and it's noon, can we send them to you?
Yes, you can. And I would prefer if I receive an email if they've been in somewhat of the HMIS system, the HMIS number. If not, just shoot me over their last name and I'll look out for that individual.
Okay, thank you. And can you post your email address maybe in the chat or somewhere for us?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. And so I gave a little bit of an introduction of what's going to be happening tonight, but my name is Sherry Boltzbacher. I'm the new CEO for the Homeless Leadership Alliance, served for several months as interim and was appointed October 1st for the full position. Very happy to be here and happy to see that our relationships, I feel like relationships have been improving quite a bit and that we've been getting a lot of good processes in place and things are getting done. But anytime that you ever have something that you want to share with me, please feel free to reach out. C. Holtzbacher, that's a fun email address to spell, at hlapinellas.org. Alicia or Tony, if you want to put that in the chat, that's fine too. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to do the CoC Board of Directors overview. We're getting ready for elections to come up. They will happen in January this year, like they did last year. And I want to go over a summary of roles and responsibilities of the CoC board members. They make policy decisions on behalf of the continuum of care, and they set the CoC priorities. That's, of course, with a lot of work from membership and input from membership, as well as from committees and the Providers and Funders Councils and the LEAC, the Lived Experience Advisory Committee. All of that bubbles up the Data and System Performance Committee, the Advocacy Committee. There are all the committees that work together and bubble up all their input into the board and their decision-making and making priority decisions. They review and approve the annual PUD Continuum of Care application and major funding decisions. We will talk about that at the end during public comment. I have some things to share there. They establish policies for funding, resource allocation, and system priorities. They review performance of funded programs and take action on poor performers. We want to make sure that the projects and programs that are getting funded are performing as they should and improving as well. They serve on at least one CoC council or committee, and that not everyone does. It is encouraged. That was a charter change this year. So, and we'll be talking about charter in a little bit in that review. They attend CoC board meetings regularly. Right now there are 6 board meetings a year, bi-monthly. They last from 9 to noon, 3 hours long. And they participate fully in discussions and voting. They disclose conflicts of interest and recuse themselves whenever required. They ensure transparency, follow the charter, so the governance charter that there are copies out there as well as in the packet, and they uphold ethical conduct. They support system level planning, such as the strategic plan, the gap analysis that is done annually, the point in time count that's done annually as well, which will be in January, and performance measures that they approve. And they represent designated sectors and maintain eligibility as CoC members. Okay. So the current membership and composition, this colorful page right here with reds and yellows and white space, right now there are 31 seats. At any time, that is the highest threshold that can be reached, the highest number of seats that are available. Currently, we have vacant seats for Funders Council Chair. We have one vacant business seat out of 2. We have City of Pinellas Park, which is an entitlement community that's appointed and it's vacant. City of Tarpon Springs, appointed and vacant. A non-entitlement community, so that would be any municipality or community that is not Pinellas County, City of St. Pete, Clearwater, Largo, or Pinellas Park. Anyone outside of that. We have 2 seats actually available for non-entitlement communities. And then there's a healthcare, emergency management services or fire seat that's elected as well. And then you'll see so many seats that are up for renewal. They have not outlasted their terms, but there are, and those are in yellow, but there are 2 seats that the terms are expiring and the person has to take 1 year off before coming back on the board again, according to our charter. And so those 2 people, that's Samuel Picard, who represents faith-based organization, so that's open, and Danielle Thomas, who is local housing authority, so that's with the City of St. Pete. We also have representation with Pinellas County, but she's still on. And then the rest are still active members that are not up for re-election or election, and those seats are filled. So in summary, there are 6 vacant elected seats, including 2 that are going to be vacated due to their terms expiring and number of term limits. 3 vacant appointed seats, and 9 seats are up for renewal in 2026. So then this is going to take us to the fun part of our agenda where we will do a vote. And like, as I said, we don't have a quorum for membership, but we do have people online, people present who can do their votes. And I'm going to go over what those 2 things this is actually the first time we've done this. Every 5 years, exactly, yes. Every 5 years, there's not a precedent that I can look back at right now. Every 5 years in our governance charter, it states that there will be, the membership will review and update and approve the governance charter. I can tell you that governance charter, I'm going to go over some of the updates that have happened. You all have the packets and have had a moment to read through it. But there have been several updates throughout the year, in the last year, and there have been, it's been combed through quite a bit. So it's been reviewed and reviewed and reviewed by many on executive committee and the CoC board of directors, as well as while looking at charters for committees and councils, reviewing that governance charter as well, to make sure everything's aligned. So I want to share that. So that's something we have to vote for, and then that vote will go on to be a recommendation to the CoC board. And then the other thing is on the election policies and procedures, or the election procedures. Which is on pages 5 through 7, the actual procedures on page 5 through 7 of the charter. And also in your packet, there is they're illustrated for 2026, what that looks like following those policies and procedures. So CoC, following those procedures. On this one. It's labeled CoC Board of Directors Election Policies and Procedures. And so let's start with governance charter. And when I'm done reviewing, then Michael will come back up and then he'll hold the vote. So for the governance charter, it was last updated and approved by the CoC board on May 2nd, 2025. And I'm going to give an overview. If you look at the last couple pages on section 5, it goes through all the revisions that have occurred since January 10th, 2020. So this was first approved in, let me see, 2020. Full charter review and approval by CoC board was September 9th, 2022. Last recent amendment approved by the board, May 2nd, 2025, but this charter has been in existence since 2020. Okay. So in 2020, section 2, the board membership changed. There were 2 CoC board seats designated specifically for housing authorities. And so that brought it up to 27 members. It is now 31. Well, 31 seats. Okay, July of 2021 required CoC membership meetings reduced from 4 meetings to 2 meetings annually as far as being required meetings. In order to maintain good standing as a CoC member, general member, you have to attend at least 2 general meetings, and the election meeting, it counts as well, which will be, like I said, in January. CoC board membership increased from 27 seats to 29 seats in that year. The housing seat reduced from 3 seats to 2 seats. Their workforce development, transportation, veteran or veteran services, and an at-large seat was added to the CoC board. And an HMIS governance subcommittee moved under DSP, our Data and System Performance Committee. In 2023, Funders Council and Platters Council decided it was updated to that they would hold 4 joint meetings annually, and previously they had 2 joint meetings. And so that way they get together 4 times a year at least, and as a joint council, and then each body gets together 2 times a year individually. November 1st of 2024, quorum requirement for CoC general meeting was reduced to 25%, including virtual participation. So that's what we're hoping today. The quorum typically is 50% plus 1, or the majority of 50%. And so that was dropped down to 25%, the majority of 25%, and is reflected in the charter as well. And so that was because we know that sometimes it is difficult when you have a larger membership to get enough people together for 1 meeting for quorum. And it includes virtual participation counts as well. November 2024, we had the DEI committee at the time was renamed System Disparities and Inequities Task Force. In 2025, language requiring CoC board members to serve on a CoC committee was updated to encourage CoC board members. It was required, and then it became encouraged to serve on a CoC council or committee. May 2nd, 2025. So we've had quite a few this year. Language allowing for the ability for electronic voting in order to approve action items. So that was done so that because we do live in a time where things change very rapidly and we need to have decisions made, and we needed the flexibility. And so through Onboard, the platform that we use for board meetings, as well as email, there are different electronic means using the up and down vote online even is electronic. So all of that now counts towards, board members can now vote that way, and it counts. And then, making sure I'm not missing anything, I think that is it. That was the last, May 2nd, that was the last major update to the charter. Does anyone have any questions about the charter itself? I will say, when I walked in, Mike looked at that charter, he goes, boy, we really have reviewed that thing a lot this last year. And that's true. Okay. And so the second item is review of the CoC board election policies and procedures. And like I said, that it starts on page 5 and goes through page 7 of the governance charter. And I will give you bullet points. So for general membership, the election procedure summary, board composition and eligibility, CoC board must have 19 to 31 members total, exact number announced each year with the call for nominees. No more than one staff or board member from the same agency may serve as an elected member, except for the homeless or formerly homeless seats. In fact, right now we do have 2 board members, who are both with LEAC. Board members must live or work in Pinellas County. If an elected member changes employers and the new agency is already represented, they must resign, and then we work with the agency to find another person or a like agency. Appointed members who leave their appointing entity automatically resign and must be replaced by a new designee. Terms and term limits: elected members serve 2 terms up to 2 years up to 3 years, so maximum 6 consecutive years, including partial terms. Terms are staggered. Approximately 1/3 of seats are up for election each year, unless vacancies occur because of people being absent or moving to new positions. No term limits for appointed members, but they must annually receive a vote of confidence from their appointing entity and from the CoC board. The types of seats: the board includes 1 board chair, 10 appointed officials, and up to 20 community leaders. Community leader roles include at-large, business, faith-based, healthcare, EMS, fire, homeless, formerly homeless, local housing authority, and veteran, workforce, transportation, and non-entitlement community seats. Non-voting appointed seats include CEOs of the CEO of the lead agency. Voting rules: annual call for nominations, vetting of nominees, and ballot announcement, which will be going out after the election procedures are approved. Nominees must be active CoC members demonstrating participation through meetings and committees. And this is really important. To be an active member, we've noticed that their membership dropped in some areas with organizations this year. So we are going to do a real big push through the rest of the year to make sure that January 1st, when we roll back around for membership renewals or new membership, that we are reaching out and making sure everyone is aware of how to engage in that process. Right now, so anyone who does go forward, when we do the call for nominations, electronically, it'll be sent out through social media, through our website, through pinellascoc.org. And through constant contacts. If you signed up for newsletters, you'll receive that as well. We will make sure and verify that you are a member. If you are not a member, which means that between January 1st of 2025 through December 26th, when the final nominations we do, then you cannot run for the board. You have to be a member in 2025. Okay. Members may vote up to the maximum number of seats in each category. So for some seats, like business seat, we have 2 seats available. So you'd be able to vote up to the maximum number of seats. Ballots that overvote are invalidated for that category only. Individuals receiving the highest number of votes for each seat are elected. So it's by majority. And there's a tie-breaking procedure. In the event of a tie, a second ballot is conducted with only the tied individuals. And again, in that case, majority, the person who receives the majority votes would get the seat. Each board seat has 1 vote. Individuals may not hold more than 1 vote. Board must maintain an odd number of total voting members except during short-term vacancies. At-large seats allow flexibility to maintain the odd number and meet strategic needs. And board should represent a high range of services, populations, and systems perspectives. And you can tell that when you look at the list of board seats that we have, that it covers so many different sectors. We definitely need more business and faith-based involvement for sure. Want to make sure we have as many municipalities as we can active and involved and represented. But definitely, like DeAndre was talking about earlier, and Michael, it takes everybody working together. Solving for homelessness, looking at our Alice report and gap analysis, and seeing that the wages, the employment opportunities that exist right now do not match up with the rents or homeownership costs. And so that is, it takes a lot of people to work on that, not only on the service providers, not only on the board of the COC, we need to build that COC out. Any questions? So once, if it's recommended to move that forward in a moment, and if it passes through the COC Board of Directors, then there will be a call for nominations that will go out. Again, it's only for people who are COC members between January 1st, meaning you had to fill out a form, and you still have time. Fill out a form and pay any dues between January 1st and December 26th. Dues are waived for youth and for people with lived experience within the last 7 years. Voting may only occur if quorum is achieved. So members, it's going to be a membership and a board of directors meeting. It'll start out with the membership meeting, we'll have the election, and if we don't meet quorum, then it goes to the COC Board of Directors. But we will try to get quorum. Quorum requires 25% plus 1, so the majority of 25% of voting members attending in person or virtually. Candidate eligibility, live in, work in, attend school, and it follows the same process as what I just described under procedures. But you must submit the board nomination form according to the charter, looking at the date that the election would take place, no later than 11:59 p.m. on Friday, December 26th. So you have through Christmas to think about this. And then what is the day after Christmas? It's something too, isn't it? Like Boxing Day? Okay, there's something. Every day has some sort of holiday associated with it. So yeah. Okay, and then when it is the procedures, the process, what will take place is that the candidates for each seat will be able to have up to 3 minutes to speak about themselves, to share why they're interested in being a board member and what they would have to offer. Members will then vote by majority, and then again, following procedure, then of a tie, second vote will be held for the tied candidates. So an elected member serve, again, a maximum of 3 consecutive 2-year terms. Okay. Following the election, then there will be a vote of confidence, which is the COC board members will hold that vote of confidence, and that's for all appointed members. Any questions about that? We're looking at the second, it's going to be, that was just voted on by the COC board, the second Friday of January. So January, I do not want to speak. Let me make sure I put this down. I believe it was going to land on January 2nd. That's the first Friday, so it's going to be January 9th, the second Friday this year. And if there are no questions, Kwanzaa.
Oh, I guess Kwanzaa's the day after.
The Kwanzaa's the day after. That definitely beats Boxing Day. I apologize for that. Okay, so Mike, come on down.
I was gonna make a note. Boxing Day is something else back in the day.
Oh, okay. Don't make me step in anything.
Well, it's a British thing, and apparently it's not just the returning of gifts, it was something that was not favorable to employers.
Uh-huh.
So in this country, they turned it into Christmas. Anyway, where are we?
We are first.
Oh, yeah, so
I would.
next year we should probably do the Thunderdome thing for ties. I don't think we're gonna do that. That would be. Oh, we get the ratings up and people will be perking up their ears, like, yeah.
So, but before let's talk about how we vote. Let's talk about how we vote.
Yeah.
Cindy, were you gonna, am I putting you on the spot, or were you going to give the instructions for how to vote online?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Are you giving instructions for how to vote online?
I did post directions for either raising your hand or voting yes. You would just go to the reaction key at the bottom of the screen there and click on react where the heart is. Click on that and you can either do a thumbs up or, you know, say yes with the check mark with the green circle with the check mark inside. That would be like that, to say yes. No would be no. Okay, so you just go down to the react button and click on yes or no.
I know with anyone who's not very familiar with Zoom, and I've always been a Teams person just by default, clicking on that heart can cause some anxiety. You will not spread hearts across the room. You will not look like that at all. That is the react button, and that is where the yes and no are. So, yes, and the voting, only people who can vote are voting members of general members who applied for membership and paid between January 1st after.
I encourage people who actually, I do encourage anybody who's not a board member now, and those who are here virtually, to apply to any of the vacancies. So we can use the help, and it's awfully important to participate in helping decide the direction of where we want to go as people here in Pinellas County. Do you want to help people or just leave people on the street? No, we want to help people. So we encourage you to talk to, like, businesses, business owners. I encourage you to come by to the information meetings or any of our meetings to realize that it's not a bad thing to help the homeless. But that's all I got to say for that. But I do encourage people to come to the meetings and encourage you to apply, because we do have some vacancies. All right, and what else? Oh, yes. Oh, the board, okay.
The governance charter.
Okay, now that we've gone over the governing board, we've gone over the election, we want to make sure that if your understanding of it, we need to have a motion to approve the election procedures that are coming up very rapidly. And I'd like to have a motion now, and someone to second, so that we can vote to affirm the procedures and the governance charter for this coming year. So do we have someone to second the motion to approve?
Oh, and everyone, please state your name too, for minutes. Elizabeth made the motion, or the second?
Okay. So we do have a second. And is there anybody objecting to the governance charter or any of the election procedures that are coming up? Okay, so the truth will have that. So the governance charter is approved and the election procedures will go in as planned and get it all, do your nominations in before Boxing Day, day after Christmas. I just wanted to make sure you understand. It takes a commitment to join the CoC, but you're not committed to being here 24/7. It is something you do have to be committed to the cause. That's the minimum, because the cause is good. The time spent with the CoC is not wasted. It is always good to deal with people who have had homelessness and who are dealing with it currently, so that we improve the entire community in Pinellas County. Oh, yes. So next is the cold night shelter program. And HLA staff will be talking about that. We did have to have it open for one night at least last week. this being Florida, fortunately, and it won't happen often, but it's there if you need it.
I'm looking for wood to knock on. Okay, so, so we had no dissensions on the elections. Okay, very good. Making sure we can move that forward then. Okay, Alex Strider is our Director of Programs with the HLA, and she is going to be, she and TV Lee recently took on special initiatives. TV Lee is our new Special Initiatives Manager. She is awesome at project management, and so she's doing point in time counts. She works with Dominique Randall, who's the chairperson for the PIT Planning Committee, and the subcommittees as well. And then she also is over Cold Night Shelter. So she's been drinking from a fire hose, learning all the things, and even like leading up to it, just absorbing as much as possible. So her supervisor is Alex, who will give an update on Cold Night Shelter.
Thank you, Sherry. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex Strider, the Director of Program Services at the Homeless Leadership Alliance of Pinellas. I'm going to speak on the Cold Night Shelter program. It is a collaborative effort to provide shelter and safety to the county's most vulnerable residents during the coldest nights of the year. Cold night shelters are pop-up shelters that activate when the overnight feels-like temperatures drop to 40 degrees or colder. So those feels like temperatures, 40 degrees or colder for a sustained period, which means 2 or more hours across the county, meaning 2 or more cities. And that's between November 15th and March 15th is the season. HLA monitors the National Weather Service and informs community partners and the public of activations through news outlets, social media, and email. Service providers, including street outreach teams, also inform individuals and families experiencing homelessness of shelter activations. Families can call 211 first contact for cold night shelter referral, and there are 3 family shelters. There are 7 individual shelters throughout Pinellas County, from Tarpon Springs to Clearwater to Pinellas Park to St. Petersburg. Individuals can go directly to the shelter, and during activations, shelters typically operate between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. and serve a hot meal. Last season, cold night shelters were open for a total of 10 nights. Cold night shelter season starts on November 15th. However, as it's been mentioned, this year we got some cold weather before that. So we're very grateful to have been able to shelter over 175 guests at the cold night shelters, including Salvation Army St. Pete. So thank you very much. When we had a pre-season opening last week on November 10th. HLA also helps to assist with volunteer coordination by connecting volunteers to the cold night shelter sites based on need and location. As Sherry mentioned, the HLA Special Initiatives Manager is TV Lee. Her contact information is on the screen. She acts as the Cold Night Shelter Program Manager. So if you would like to volunteer or if you have any questions, you can reach out to her. And if you would like to donate to our Cold Night Shelter program, the link is on the screen, or you can go directly to our website, which is pinellashomeless.org. And I'll put this information in the chat as well. So thank you very much. I'll turn it back over to you, Sherry.
Thank you. And anyone, if you belong to a faith community or a nonprofit organization or a group that has space and is interested in, especially up in North County, I know that we have definite need up there, but anywhere within Pinellas County, interested in participating in this program, please reach out to TV Lee with her information that is there in the chat. She would love to talk to you, and I would too, just to tell you more about that project. Okay, and if you're willing to volunteer as well, reach out to TV Lee. As Alex mentioned. Seasonal and holiday resource updates. There are a couple things I want to, DeAndre, you were talking about Angel Treat earlier.
Yes.
Salvation Army is putting that on. Is that open right now?
Actually, registration is closed.
It's closed. Okay, I missed that part, so I want to make sure, I wanted to verify and confirm. That is a project that has been going on and will be helping many people. And then another, Teresa Jones, she forwarded to us, to several of us, community Christmas toy giveaway. This was, I have copies out here. We're going to be putting this up on the CoC website as well, and out to social media for sure. It's Friday, December 12th, 6 to 8 p.m. In St. Pete. And Teresa, are you there? If you are willing to speak on this a little bit.
Teresa had to leave early. She had another commitment at 6:30. I do have a question though myself about the angel tree. Although the registration's closed for people to get the gifts, where are the trees available with the angels on them? In case somebody wants to pick a child or family.
I will have individuals come to our location and reach out to our admin department. They can provide those in-person angels.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so, and are there other, and online as well, please raise your hand or put it in chat, anyone that's present as well. Are there other seasonal resources that are being provided right now that you're aware of out in the community that we should be taking note of? Why? Why has a toy drive? A number of churches do as well. What do we have showing up on chat? Oh, that's what we just talked about.
That was, yeah.
That was from Teresa.
Kimberly Rogers, just raised her name.
Okay, Kim? Kim, do you hear us?
Okay. I was trying to unmute myself. Hi, everyone. There is a Thanksgiving turkey and holiday basket giveaway this coming Saturday from 2 to 6 on the Deuces, which is South St. Petersburg. The address is 800 22nd Avenue South.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything to share from your organizations or out in the community?
What was the hours for the giveaway this Saturday?
6 to 8 p.m.
2 to 6.
Oh, sorry, wrong thing. It's on again.
It's 2 to 6.
So 2 to 6 at the Deuces, and the community Christmas toy giveaway that Teresa Jones talked about, which is not this Saturday, it's Friday, December 12th, it's 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. Can't remember if Metropolitan Ministries is still open. Okay, we're gonna look into that.
So I think that it is. I just went on their site. It looks like registration assistance it started October 29th. It's through November 21st. They're doing some in-person registration assistance. I'm going to try to get the flyer and drop it in the chat as soon as I figure it out to them.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll also say the Lived Experience Advisory Committee, they just went through a lot of all the food resources that are collected throughout the county. And we now have an updated list for that to share. We'll be putting that out. Okay, anything else? Okay, so Point in Time Committee, is Dominique on right now? Okay, Dominique, would you like to give your pitch and get people activated and excited about volunteering in this year? Point in Time Count?
Yes, good afternoon or good evening, everyone. This is Dominique Randall. I work with Pinellas County Human Services. I've been fortunate enough to chair the Point in Time Committee for the past few years and participating in the committee for I think over a decade now. I was asked to fill in last minute, and I'm also driving, so bear with me, but I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to speak about this. The Point in Time is taking place on January 29th. That is a Thursday, asking where individuals slept the night before. This is a really relevant and needed survey. Really, it is a census of those who are unsheltered in our community and unhoused. So we are looking for over 350 volunteers to deploy throughout the day. And this can be between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. We looked at 3 to 4 hour shifts, and there's 4 shifts throughout the day. Volunteer registration was just activated last week on Friday. So you may have received that email registration to get volunteers ready for that January 29th point in time count. It will be similar to years in the past where we will have Clearwater, Largo, St. Pete deployments that you will go out in teams of 4 to 5. We are using the same app as we have in the past with some enhancements. So we've updated, and hopefully the registration is going a little bit smoother this year. I know that was one of the biggest feedback points we had from last year, but it is the same platform so that we're able to do some more longitudinal analysis from year to year. Year to year. But really just any opportunity, it's a great way to either share that with people you know and work with, volunteer for yourself, and just an opportunity to interview those that are unsheltered on the street. And again, this information does inform how we're doing as a community. And what I call myth busting is that the narrative doesn't always fit, and everybody who is unhoused doesn't look the same. And so this really informs that conversation and gives us as a community opportunities for enhancement and kind of showing and featuring what we're doing right as well. So thank you, everybody. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. We do have a committee that meets monthly. That is the first Tuesday of the month. So we have a couple more months before the actual point in time. And so thank you.
Thank you, Dominique. And that committee, if you look at the CoC calendar, community calendar is posted. It meets at First Contact, which used to be 211. And so it's a fairly central location and is available hybrid as well, so people can attend virtually. I want to give a shout out to Dominique about, this year, I believe the subcommittees, like for right now, I just, during the last meeting, found out that there were 10 agencies involved in the youth subcommittee, which was not, I don't believe it was like that before. Is that right, Dominique?
Yeah, they're kind of revamping it and bringing some completely new partners to the table. So pretty excited to see where that goes.
So that is good. And then also the point in time count, like Dominique was saying, it is a community building effort to be in front of someone that you may not otherwise ever meet or talk to. And in a structured way, right? You have your talk, you have your questions, you have your script. You don't have to make a lot of small talk, but then you can end up maybe building that relationship. But also all that data, all that information that is recovered and is sent on to the state and then also sent to Congress each year in a report to talk about what are the causes, how are we doing, what is the state of homelessness in Florida and across the country. And so the more accurate a census or count we get, the better. And it does do a lot of myth busting. The primary reasons for homelessness in Pinellas County last year are very different from what we are hearing broadcasted and maybe stereotyped and believed around the country right now. Has a question.
So I just wanted to let you all know that Judith Warren from St. Vincent de Paul has posted a turkey drop Facebook page if anyone's interested, and Helen has also posted the Metropolitan Ministries Holiday Central posting on their website as well. And I would imagine that we'd be able to send this to everyone after the meeting so that they have it in an email as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, informational items. There is an updated conflict of interest policy that the CoC approved. I believe it during the September, let me see. It was signed in September, beginning of September. But it was adopted by the CoC, working with the new attorneys, Murray and Greg. And so this is going to be part of the new membership application and being part, if you want to apply to be part of the board of directors as well, to read through this and sign off on this for membership and elections. So take your time to read that. At some point, we hope to, if you have any questions, please forward them and we can, try to get them answered. And then maybe have a time for more time to go over this. But I know that there has been time given to the CoC board to explain what it is, and we'll be posting that soon. It is posted on the CoC website. I will say that. It is on the CoC website. It is up to date. Other things are membership renewals. The 26th, I've said this and I gotta say it again. If you're not a member right now and you want to run for election, if you have not paid dues or applied since January 1st of 2025, then you are not a voting member. Your organization is not a voting member if you were representing an organization. Please do that. And also before December 26th, so you can run. And then after that, for new memberships or renewals, that begins January 1st. If you are already a member, don't go on and try to apply early. Wait till January 1st to do it. The way that our system works, it will just count that as a donation, and we'll have to do a lot of back and forth to fix it. So the best thing to do is to wait till January 1st. There will be the constant contact newsletters will be going out, calls to join or renew during that time as well. And are there any questions? Christy Thompson, raise her hand. Hey, Christy. Christy Thompson, you're on mute. Well, if she unmutes, then just stop. Okay.
Hi. I think I figured it out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Christy, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Don't worry.
What if you just want to be a committee member? Can I apply now or should I wait till January 1st?
So to be a member of a committee, you do need to be a CoC member, but if you wanted to come and attend a committee, it's open, they are open to the public.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. So opening up for public comment. Did anyone have anything that they wanted to bring up that has not been covered in tonight's meeting?
This is Arrow. I just wanted to thank the HLA staff for pulling together the cold night shelters before contract periods and everything, and all the nonprofits that stepped up to help with that so quickly. And also just another big welcome to have Sherry permanently on for that position. We're very glad that you're in that seat.
Thank you, Arrow. We're still going to, we'll keep it open for any more comment. I actually have something I want to share that was not known to us when the agendas were created and sent out. And so last Thursday evening, our HUD CoC program notice of funding opportunity, the big NOFO, it was dropped. We were anticipating and had been talking about cuts to permanent supportive housing and a potential cap of 30%. And we knew that was going to happen, like that, we knew that. What was dropped now has affected all permanent housing at a 30% cap. And so we have been read through it. We have a consultant that we contract with to help us with it. I attend the bi-weekly meetings with the Florida Coalition on Homelessness, the CoC peer meetings, just had a meeting with them today, talked with Kevin, with BOLI centers, because we know that they're permanent supportive housing. Basically, it's 74% of our portfolio as a CoC is some form of permanent housing. So it affects permanent supportive housing, rapid rehousing, the DV, transitional housing to rapid rehousing. We are looking at ways that, and talking with providers to figure out how to like backfill some holes because we do not want people out in the streets. People need to be served, but also looking at new opportunities because now there's more things that have not been available through the HUD NOFO program, like transitional housing for over a decade, and some things like 2 decades are now available. But we are still waiting also we're on the same boat as every single CoC in the nation right now. We are waiting to we don't have detailed information on what the scoring is going to look like, what the application should look like. And because it's such a 30% now of our renewals amount because they're tier 1, so I don't want to get too much in the weeds, but that means that those are like non-competitive. The tier 2 is 70% of the amount available to us. To put that in perspective, last year, tier 1 was 90% of our renewal amount, and tier 2 was just 10. So, and there were some bonus projects available. So, there is additional funds, but definitely changes in the way in federal policies around housing first. So that is no longer in the cards. It is services must be a precondition for housing assistance. We knew that was going to happen. We have to stick with gender as a binary, male, female, and that's it. Several other, anything having to do with racial preferences, or that could be considered that, cannot happen. So we are still waiting for some more detail. We have a lot of information. We have a good, people are getting together to kind of come up with some strategies, providers and funders too. But we are still waiting as far as setting out that application, the RFP, request for proposals, and the scoring tool that is going to, just like every other CoC that I've talked to, they are still waiting for a little bit more detailed information so that we have the best chance to get the most for our community. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be rough. Okay, so if everyone though, like Michael said earlier, it takes everybody, and we have to move forward with things as they are with some time so that we know that right now we can do the best, bring in the most funds to take care of people and do the least amount of harm. Any questions on that or any other public comment?
Well, like I said, not really a question, more like it's one of the reasons we need more members of the CoC is to have more different ideas, because it's going to be trying time the next year or two, and the pit council point would be accurate, and the NOFO funding, it is what it is, but I think we can come up with ideas from everybody in the community, particularly any new members who want to join, or existing members. Just, if you think it's an idea, give it out, because you never know what one month spark would help. Maybe just get the funding so that we don't have any more excess people already on the street. All right, so that being said, we've gone through everything on our agenda. We hope any new people don't get the idea that this is boring and this is bad. This is a good thing we're meeting. It's a good thing we're talking about these issues. It's a good thing we're making a decision on our governance so we can focus on the mission. Top of the page, that's the TLDR. which is keep people off the streets, into homes, and into productive lives, so we don't have more bad consequences of people being homeless. Now, with that being said, if there's nothing else, I'd like to close and adjourn the meeting. And I thank everybody for coming, both in person and virtually, because everybody matters, ideas matter, no matter where it comes from. And help and support is always welcome. So with that being said, we will close this meeting, and with one last thing, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your families, and we hope you have a successful Thanksgiving and New Year. And with that, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you so much.
You're
Good
welcome.
evening. Thank you so much for all you do. We appreciate it.